For anybody who hasn't been here before, the bathrooms are upstairs, and Kat, who's outside, is slinging your drinks, and tip her well. I'm going to bring up your first comic now. He's been here before. You're going to love him. Give it up for Reagan J.
Hello, Mike. Hey, anyways, thought we'd start the show off, we started off with a bald guy. Now we got a full head of hair. That's why I took my hat off. I wanted to, have a pale contrast of the two. Anyways, I didn't really want to start off with that. We were sitting out there before, we were kind of talking about, the way drivers were here in Ajax or Toronto. I've been kind of having a couple of random road rage things lately here. This old man, I accidentally cut him off. I try to drive safe now that I'm older and I got my own kid. And I cut this old guy off, and we get to the thing, he pulls up beside me, he goes, 30 years ago, I would have kicked your ass. I said, you would have had no problem, pal, I was 8. I was backing into a parking spot, and the other side, it was empty. So, it's one of those, some people, they take advantage of that, they pull their car through. So I was backing in, I just like to pull out easy, quick and easy, I don't know, it's the postie in me, I work for Canada Post, anyway, size note. So I'm backing in and I see this lady coming in pretty aggressively behind me. And she starts giving me the double finger and waving me off. And I'm like, what the fuck, lady? I'm parked. I ain't going fucking nowhere. I'm here. So I get out and she gets out and she starts going, This lady was deaf. Do you think anything I was going to say was gonna, land on deaf ears? All right, this one's on road rage, but I was out with my family, and I was with my brother-in-law and my father-in-law and my brother-in-law's girlfriend. We're just driving back on the Gardner, and my brother-in-law's, well, he's not outgoing. He's rather meek, and he all of a sudden, I wasn't really paying attention, just looking out the window. He goes, Reagan, you got to see that. Feel bad about that kid over there. He looks a little down that his dad owns the base model Mercedes-Benz. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I look up, and this kid's like this, looking out the window. He had Down syndrome. Hey guys, that kid is in a much better social economic class from me, so that's technically punching up, not punching down. So that's good, clean comedy, okay? All right, speaking of dreams that I'll hopefully have someday, with my luck with OLG, you go scan your ticket to see if you win or lose next day. For me, every time I scan it with my luck, it says, hey, you owe us more money. The other thing too, I'm a millennial, so, I'm one of those kids who grew up in the late 80s, and I saw the millennium, not the Falcon. But the one thing I find with OLG is that their new ads here for in Toronto, they're like, hey, this girl just won $1 million here in Toronto. She's like, I can afford an apartment and eat. So that's, the thing we can live for, winning $1 million as a millennial here nowadays. Speaking of other brands, you notice Tim Hortons, I find Tim Hortons food is like airplane food served on the ground. Does anyone else see that as well? All right, well, not that good. Okay, let's move on here, folks. Hey, I figured out, a lot of people, they always say, hey, just put free candy on a van to kidnap kids. I found out the other day, if you put free chicken McNuggets on the side of a van, you will kidnap a lot of adults. A lot of people like fresh McNuggets. Oh, I keep looking over here. That's because I'm nervous. All right. Yeah, another talk about another brand, Scotiabank. Scotiabank's motto, you're richer than you think. I think they should change it now because of the fucking break record profits that they get is we're richer than you think. Unless you invest in them. I'm not here to give that kind of advice. All right, speaking of reincarnation, my dad believes in reincarnation. I kind of feel bad for people who believe in reincarnation because, someday you're going to be like, oh, fuck you, Dad, you blood-sucking mosquito. Speaking of dark jokes, I have a daughter. My brother just recently passed away here last year. My dad died a few years back, and it was kind of a rare event for me. We're at the funeral. We're at the gravestone. That's a really dark joke. So I take a picture because it was going to be the only time my daughter was going to be with my brother and my father in the same picture. So I took a picture, and everyone goes, "Hey," I go, "You want to see a picture of my granddaughter with my brother and and her grandfather?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that'd be so sweet." And I show it. It's just a funeral marker. Anyways, I'll show you after. It's kind of funny. Woo, that's dark. Okay. Well, yeah. You guys ever heard of Hooker Harveys in Toronto? Yeah. You know what? I found out about it recently, and I was kind of blown away about it. I was like, really? There's a Hooker Harveys? You can even Google Maps it. Look it on it after this comedy set. Look it up. Just type Hooker Harveys. It will show up on Toronto on your Google Maps. So, you can clog your arteries with an original and clog someone's throat with your cock. Ooh, that's bad. All right, I'm running out of material soon. Get on with this. All right. Anyway, so I was thinking about starting an OnlyFans account. For me, it'd be, you sign up $20, $30 a month, and if you want to cancel at the same time, it's about $40. So you know where I'm going to be making my profit. All right. I think I'm going to end up on this one, guys. I know Mother's Day was let's just say a couple weeks, but fuck you, I'm going to tell this joke anyway. This is one of my favorite Mother's Day jokes. My friend's dad told it to me years ago, and I love telling it. Anyways, there's a rich guy and a poor guy. They're on the TTC, and they're going home after, and they're talking about their weekend, what they're going to do. And the poor guy goes, "Oh, so what'd you get your wife for Mother's Day?" He goes, "I got her a pearl necklace and a Mercedes-Benz." He goes, "Holy fuck. Why'd you get her a pearl necklace and a Mercedes-Benz?" "Well, if she doesn't like it, she can get into her car and drive down to this jewelry store the next day in her comfort and leisure." I was like, fuck. So the rich guy, he goes, "So what are you going to get your wife for Mother's Day?" He goes, "Well, I'm going to get her a broom and a dildo." And the rich guy's taken aback. He's like, "Well, what the fuck are you going to use that for? What's she going to use that for?" "Well, she doesn't like the broom. She can go fuck herself." Anyways, guys, my name's Reagan. Thanks again. I really appreciate you all.
Give it up one more time for Reagan, guys.